This video will help you get your Oddbeaker synthetic miner up and running for the first time. After watching this video, be sure to watch the other instructional videos for more information. When you first open up your synthetic miners, you'll notice a red screen. Red screen usually indicates that some information that's missing that's required for the miner to operate. First, we're going to add a crypto pair by clicking the plus icon here. And for this example, let's choose Bitcoin, USDT. Oops. The max price is the maximum price that the miner is allowed to pay for Bitcoin in this case, being as this pair is Bitcoin USDT. So for this example, let's use 47,000, let's say 46,000. Max spend is the amount of USDT, as you see here in this case, that is allowed to be spent per order. For example, if I say 100, then no order placed will be of more than $100 worth of Bitcoin. Min profit percent is the minimum amount of profit that you want to gain when a trading round is complete. After you place your buy, you buy $100 worth. Let's assume that we use 10% as the minimum profit, and we're spending $100 per order. The miner will buy $100 worth of Bitcoin at whatever price, and then turn around and sell that Bitcoin for $110, profiting you 10%. And so in this case, when the Bitcoin is sold, you'll have $110 in your account, whereas when before you bought the Bitcoin, you had only $100, let's say. Next is the stash. The min stash percent is the amount of crypto, in this case Bitcoin, that you want to keep when a round is completed. Again, a round is a subsequent buy and sell. And so in this case, let's say that we say 10%. So I spend $100 on Bitcoin, and that gets me some amount of Bitcoin. And then when I sell, instead of selling that amount of Bitcoin, I take 10% of that and set it aside and sell the rest for whatever the profit amount is. So let's say, for example, I say 5% profit and 5% stash. When I buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, I'm going to keep 5% of that Bitcoin to myself, and I'm going to sell the remainder for a 5% profit. So I'll still end up with $105 at the end of the round, but I'll also have 5% of the Bitcoin left over that I purchased initially. It'll all make a lot more sense when you start using those features. Okay, so for this example, we're going to say 0 profit and 10 stash, because the goal in this case is to mine Bitcoin, and we're using stablecoin USDT to mine Bitcoin essentially. So when I hit save, now you'll see the screen goes white because now the miner actually has something to do. Here's an interesting thing. So if you look here, there's a bid and ask. Price is 47,000, but we set a max price of 46,000, and so that's why that line is red, because the current price is outside of the trading range of the synthetic miner. But let's move on to the next feature. When you have pairs shown here, you can edit the settings by clicking this little pencil icon. And so let's say, okay, we want to set the max price to 48,000. And now when I save the changes, the red bar goes away. Another thing that you're going to need to do in order to get your synthetic miner running and actually trading is to set your API keys. When you purchased your subscription to the synthetic miners, you received instructions about how to create those API keys based on which crypto exchange you're going to be mining on. Use those instructions to create your API key and secret and password if the password is required. Otherwise, don't bother with the password. And then come back here and you can click on the exchange name to open up the API key dialog. And this is where you would copy and paste your API key and secret and maybe password if the exchange you're trading on requires it. And I strongly suggest that you copy and paste, because those keys are very cryptic and they're very long, and it's almost impossible to type them manually without making some mistakes. But once you get the key and the secret in there and the API password, if it's required, you click save. This message will go away and the CryptoBot will be able to start trading. So that's all you really need to know to get set up so that your synthetic miner is actually doing its thing, doing what it is designed to do. The last thing before we end this video is when you edit, if you want to delete a pair and if you want the miner to stop mining a pair, you can go in here and set the max price to 0, and that will actually remove that crypto pair from the list of pairs that it can trade. Now you see the screen went back to red, and that's because there's no crypto pairs added here. Okay, that's it for this video. The other videos cover the topics about like the colors and trading and how mining works and all that stuff. So be sure to watch those as well. This one is all you need to get up and running and get started the first time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.